The Sixers, they freaking tried, man. They went and they tried their best to bring Ben in and say, hey, look, man, we tried to trade you and it didn't work. So let's just make this work. And Ben just laughed at them and said, there's no fucking way. I'm not coming back here. You got to trade me. I'm not doing it. NBA rumors. Ben Simmons has drawn trade offer from dark horse team. And in this story, this man goes through the teams that, have already offered Ben, like, or have already been in the news. For instance, Timberwolves, Warriors, Blazers, even the Pacers with Malcolm Brogdon very early on. And he says 2 teams come in mind for this category of a dark horse team that has not made an offer. Number 1 is the Detroit Pistons, and number 2 is the New Orleans Pelicans. Ben Simmons and Zion doesn't sound great. Honestly, I don't love it. Coop, what do you think? I mean, what do you?
If we were at that point of desperation, I could think of worse. I like Ben. I think he's going to surprise a few people this upcoming season. But Ben and Zion, that's not the most ideal lineup. I mean, there's already enough speculation going on in New Orleans. If you trade for Ben, one thing that's definitely going to happen is all eyes are going to be on you. And I even feel that way, even being in New Orleans.
In this instance, too, how do you use Ben Simmons? I mean, Ben Simmons is typically the primary ball handler. So how does that exactly work? You bring Ben Simmons and then maybe run a similar system as to what they did in Houston with CP3 and James Harden? I
don't like it. I don't like it, but
I don't like the fit at all. The Pelicans with combining Zion and Ben, it doesn't feel like that fits. It feels like you would be starting Ben at small forward because you can't start Zion at center.
One thing that gets swept under the rug is I wouldn't necessarily feel bad for Zion. I would feel more for the Pelicans guards and Brandon Ingram, who make a living out of creating from the perimeter, but also getting to the basket. Brandon Ingram had to deal with Steven Adams and Zion kind of clogging the paint last year. Even though Zion still does have a gravity to where people play him respectively kind of close, because you can't give him a head start going to the basket. But obviously, not an ideal situation for BI or our guards.
Yeah, so guys, we are capping off the giveaway to the first 40,000 subscribers that turn on our notifications for the Laced Up podcast. All you have to do to enter for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X is subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to do us a favor, leave a like on the pod and let me know in the comment section down below when it's done. You'll enter for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X.
Also, guys, while you're here, this podcast, Laced Up, is also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It would be awesome if you could go check us out there, follow us there, and leave us a review. Now, back to the pod. I did a Twitter poll, and it was split 50-50. Would you trade D'Angelo Russell for Ben Simmons? All right. I would. If I'm the Timberwolves, I'm trading D'Angelo Russell for Ben Simmons. I'm taking Anthony Edwards
for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking Anthony Edwards, Ben Simmons, Cat, and I'm running with it.
I think they could go either way. I could see them offering D'Angelo Russell. I could also see them offering Anthony Edwards, strictly because, I mean, hear me out. This is the only way I could see this happening is, Cat and D'Lo are really close. D'Lo and Ben Simmons went to high school together. So if this is one of those situations where Cat comes in and says, hey, I want you guys to keep D'Angelo Russell, I want you to trade Anthony Edwards instead, then I could see a scenario, although a very huge long shot, where they offer Anthony Edwards for Ben Simmons. And in that case, the Philadelphia 76ers would be absolutely stupid not to accept that.
I'd rather trade Cat before I trade Anthony Edwards for Ben Simmons. I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean,
you'd rather trade Cat?
2024.
Cat's a bit of a unicorn,
if you don't think you're going to win anytime soon, the Timberwolves have shown no signs of being good. Why would you trade the number 1 draft pick who had an amazing rookie season? I'd rather just restart. Let's restart the rebuild. Edwards is young. Let's not mess him up.
If you think that Anthony Edwards, Ben Simmons, and Cat is a package that works for you, which I feel it. I mean, I think they're in a better situation with that than with D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell, let's just be honest. D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards are two score first guards. Like those are two.
Yeah. And like you said, Cat's under contract. So
yeah, no, Cat's locked in.
I think D'Angelo Russell, in terms of like playmaking, is very underrated. I think he could do a little bit of both.
I don't think that's enough, though. I don't think D'Angelo Russell would be enough. Maybe if Malik Beasley's in there, but they turned down Brogdon and picks, right? So, Brogdon might be better than D'Lo at this stage of his career, at this very moment,
Yeah. I would take D'Lo, but I mean, I could see the argument for both. But I wonder what would happen if that same offer was made exactly right now, because the thing is, they turned down that offer that was the exact like beginning of the Ben Simmons, saga / drama of this summer. That was before.
That's true.
They tried to get everyone. That was before they failed.
That's true. I think if they got that offer now, they're like, yo, hold up, wait a minute, Brogdon?
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it for the Kings to say, hey, we're not trading Tyrese Halliburton. We're keeping him no matter what. If Halliburton is the make or break here, then yeah, of course you should trade Tyrese Halliburton for Ben Simmons, because I think in terms of ceiling, Ben Simmons is going to beat Tyrese Halliburton easily.
If you all are a small market team that can, take maybe a mini leap up, maybe now you have De'Aaron Fox and Ben Simmons. I mean, I would for sure consider doing it.
I love that. Like
that sounds good to me. It's just
good to me too.
I think the only problem is people are legitimately afraid of what happens when Ben Simmons comes back.
I think the Kings are a team that, in order to get like a superstar without like developing one, I think Fox is going to be a superstar, but in order to get a guy like that, to get another guy like that, you got to draft him, or you have to, go out and you have to make a move. You have to take a gamble on a guy like Ben Simmons.
There's rumors that he'd accept a trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers, to the Sacramento Kings. Like, bro, these are literally the two worst front offices in the entire NBA.
If you were to just go through like the Ben Simmons timeline, like a graph, there was a time where in the regular season or even in the beginning of the playoffs where that trade, like if you were just going through it, would be accepted automatically and the Sixers would be ripped for taking Tyrese Halliburton for Ben Simmons. Now, of course, his trade value has fallen off a cliff. I have never seen anything like this. I feel like it's just kind of crazy how low it's fallen, but at this point I'm making that trade. And you're also showing De'Aaron Fox that, Fox is locked into a contract though as well, right? Well,
yeah,
you're
just signed an extension this offseason.
Yeah, you're at least trying to win with De'Aaron. I mean, yeah, he just played 4 years, so I'm sure he's locked in for a while. Is what's happening right now? Like teams are playing a waiting game. Like, are they waiting for the offer to get lower? Because that could just easily be the case. It could just be like maybe the Kings are somewhat open to, going for Halliburton, but right now the 76ers are only asking for De'Aaron, So we don't really know. We're not really sure. I don't know what else the 76ers do in terms of, like Coop said, 76ers are already a really good team. So what you get back for Ben at this point is, only going to help you. You can't just let him rot away on the bench. You can, but you're wasting like $40 million in salary cap. I would say, piggybacking off of the one team that could change his career that dramatically, I think it for sure would be the Golden State Warriors.
Of course.
Or the Blazers. Maybe one or the other. You get a guy like Dame or Steph to bounce off of that they can take over lead ball handling responsibilities, and now your focus is way more on just setting up shooters. I think both those situations are going to be way better for Ben Simmons.
One of the questions I asked in the very beginning, like if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, how do you handle this situation? You have a player that has his value at an all-time low, that you drafted number 1 overall, won Rookie of the Year, is a good player, but he's stagnating, unfortunately. On one hand, I think Doc Rivers is a freaking idiot. Like, literally, if you have any semblance of just social intelligence, you look at the media sees you're down bad, they're like begging. It's like, please, throw your star forward under the bus, or star point guard or whatever. Please, like, this will be fantastic. It'll get us clicks. And the man, literally gave the media what he wanted. Can Ben Simmons be a championship point guard? All you have to do is yes, but we're going to need to work towards that. Or something along those lines.
Just say yes. Don't even say anything. Literally, just say, Yes, of course I believe that.
Yeah, it's over at that point.
Yeah.
Like, who cares
Well,
what you believe?
well, like,
this
at
isn't
the
the time to take a stand, Doc, and to be like, you know what? Now my integrity and my morals are too high. I cannot lie to the media. Joel Embiid recently came out and said, oh yeah, Ben's a great player. I, of course, want Ben to stay on the team. Interesting. After you're not able to trade him the whole summer, now you come out and say that. The Sixers should have just been like, no, you cannot talk to Ben Simmons. Doc should have just said he was a championship point guard. Joel Embiid should have backed up his teammate. And who knows, maybe the entire NBA, maybe at least one team bites and trades for him. Instead, everyone has piled on him. And now we're in a situation where, again, Ben Simmons could just refuse to play, or we've seen this. If you look at James Harden's numbers, if you go and pull up what James Harden did when he came and actually played, he still averaged 24.8 points, 10.4 assists, and 5.1 rebounds per game in eight games. He came back and he showed teams, hey, I'm still James Harden. I'm still a great player. You trade for me, I'm still going to be a great player. We've seen guys like Vince Carter. This is Vince Carter's stats real quick. I'm pulling this up. You are not going to believe how badly Vince Carter purposely tanked his trade value in Toronto. Toronto had no choice. They said, okay, same exact kind of situation. Vince Carter was like, I'm not playing for you. I don't want to play for you. And they were like, too bad, you have to. And he was like, okay, watch how bad I play to tank my trade value. Vince Carter's last season in Toronto, the 2005 season, for the Toronto Raptors, he shot 41% and averaged 15.9 points per game. All right? 41%, 15.9 points. For the New Jersey Nets, that very same season after he was traded, he shot 46%, 50% better, and averaged 27.5 points a game. He, on the court, tanked his trade value until they finally traded him. So what's going to happen to the Sixers? I have no idea, but that Malcolm Brogdon trade offer could end up looking like, oh man, I wish we had taken that, because what they traded for Vince Carter, what the Raptors got for Vince Carter, was pennies because of what happened.
If you're still here while the music is cued, here are 2 videos I think you are definitely going to enjoy. Make sure to click on one of them. Again, I know you're gonna love it. And other than that, have a great day and peace.